Good day and welcome back to another DB Legends video. In this video I wanted to take a look and discuss basically a little bit about certain mechanics of DB Legends, and I want to do videos breaking down those mechanics and how they function, what players should consider, and basically how they affect PvP. I thought this would be a cool series to do, so I hope you enjoy it. In terms of the first mechanic we'll be taking a look at endurance. This is a new term for the mechanic. Endurance is basically the previous restore health at 0 effect. So what's important is you'll see now in characters a bullet point saying endurance 30% recovery. Endurance means that when a character's health reaches 0, their health will immediately restore to 30 or 40 or however much percent is specified by the recovery amount. Previously, on all the characters, for example, if we take a look at Shallot's SS2 transformation, which gives him endurance, it was previously called restoration of health when character's health reaches 0 to X percentage. So they've relabeled the term endurance. A lot of characters have endurance. Endurance is an incredibly common mechanic. Nowadays, it's almost unheard of for units to have endurance. To not have endurance, I should say, because endurance is essentially a secondary little shot at kind of making a comeback, and it can be quite irritating. So the big thing with endurance is that there are certain things that endurance does and does not do. So what's super important is that endurance does not break combo. So endurance can apply other effects. Like we're going to take a look at Red Perfect Cell, the Ultra, and you'll see that when his endurance kicks in, for example, he applies sealing and a whole bunch of buffs to himself. So endurance can apply a whole bunch of buffs that may prevent the opposition from continuing their combo, but does not break the combo. If a player knows you have endurance and follows up their attack that knocks you out with another one, it won't break the combo. You will either have to intercept them with an ally, or just pray that they run out of ki, or that your buffs apply. It does not reset the battlefield. So unlike revives, which basically sets you both back to long distance and create space between you, you don't reset the battlefield with a endurance activation. You just basically create a chance for you to survive. It can also be nullified. This is something that I show you even here in Cell's passive, but endurance can be nullified. In fact, one of the most common super blue cards that players choose, for example, Shallot, is endurance nullification. So like Metal Cooler's blue card, because it stops players from being able to activate nullification endurance. This can happen from passives, super effects. So it's not super common, otherwise endurance would be pointless, but it's common enough that it's something you need to consider if you're using a character with endurance. It's also important to take note that it's not like Unbreakable. Unbreakable is an effect that occurs that will keep you healthy and unable to be hit from combos until the combo currently ends, and then the effects will take place once you are safe and able to restore your health and not able to be comboed down. And Unbreakable or revives reset the battlefield or do auxiliary damage to your opposition. So like for example, Turles is one, or Golden Freeze is one, where they don't die, they actually reset the battlefield and do damage to you, but they don't change, they don't transform. So they're not like a revive where they come back as a different potential character. So that's super important to understand. Like I said, nullification does exist. Metal Cooler, his blue card, is a great example of this. It's why everyone runs it on Shallot, because it does high damage and nullifies endurance. So endurance isn't a foolproof safety net, and it also doesn't refresh with transformation. So it's a good ability. I do think it has the ability to be annoying, but more so on characters that take advantage of it to apply debuffs or seal the opposition's cards. Like Red Perfect Cell is a great example of this. To show you what I mean, this Goku UI that I'm facing has endurance. Now his endurance just kicks in and absolutely 0 happens. So his endurance kicks in, 0 happens with it, and I just continuously combo him down. So I combo him, get him down to 0 health, wait for him to get to 0 health. I know he's going to get to 0 health, so I don't break my combo, I just keep going. This is because I'm aware that he doesn't apply any other effects. So where is endurance useful? Well, it's useful because it can still be used to do things like potentially eat rising rushes, eat big attacks. Like if you know your opponent's going to throw a blue card at you and you know you have an endurance available and you can intercept it without the negative side effects, then it's still useful. Like it does act somewhat in the same capacity as a revive, or for example an unbreakable, where you can use it to eat big attacks or eat rising rushes. Just with endurance, there's a couple more factors you have to take note of. Do they have endurance nullification? Are they going to continue comboing me? Because you don't want them to combo you, it removes the point of the endurance. A lot of the times using it to soak a rising rush or to basically soak a special is your best option with it. But yeah,